Have you ever noticed how uncomfortable it can feel when someone disagrees with you? Maybe it's about parenting, politics, religion, money, business, health, relationships, or even something very small. And suddenly there's tension in the body. You feel the urge to explain yourself, defend yourself, convince them, correct them, or maybe externally you stay quiet. But internally there's frustration, judgment, resistance, distance. And what's interesting is, most people think the discomfort is caused by the disagreement itself or by the other person. But really, the deeper suffering comes from what the mind makes the disagreement mean. Because quickly, the mind can turn yung they disagree with my opinion into they are rejecting me. Me. And this is very human. Everyone experiences this. In fact, this pattern has existed for thousands of years. If we look at history, many wars, conflicts, mass persecution, and violence started because human beings became deeply attached sa ideas nila, beliefs, identities, and ideologies. Religion, politics, communism, culture, race, and so on. People disagreed, and the disagreement became personal, dangerous, threatening. Now, of course, most of us are not starting wars, but we still experience smaller versions of the same pattern every day. Families stop talking, friendships become tense, teams become divided, couples become emotionally distant because of disagreements, business partnerships break down, and internally people become stressed, reactive, defensive, and exhausted. So in today's episode, I want to talk about why this happens, the hidden costs of it, and what we can do instead. Because this pattern doesn't just affect relationships. It affects peace of mind, leadership, communication, decision-making, and performance. Most of us were taught that when life gets harder, the answer is to think harder. But many of the biggest breakthroughs in my life didn't come from thinking more. They came from understanding the mind and learning how to quiet it. If you're a business owner, leader, or professional dealing with stress, uncertainty, and the challenges that come with growth, you're in the right place. In this podcast, I share realizations about life, work, and the mind, and how quieting the mind helps us think more clearly, make better decisions, and take focused, effective action. Welcome to Realizations with Clarissa. One of the biggest mistakes we make as human beings is we unconsciously treat our thoughts, our opinions, and beliefs as our identity. Yung tipong, my opinion is me. That's who I am. So when someone disagrees, it feels personal, even if logically we know it shouldn't. And this reaction happens so quickly that many people don't even realize it's happening. Someone disagrees and almost instantly, your body reacts. There's tightening in the body. May heat na sa mukha mo, may pressure sa dibdib mo, may defensiveness, the urge to prove, the urge to win. Because deep inside, the mind believes something like, if they disagree with me, I lose something. Maybe that's certainty or significance or control or validation or security. The mind often believes na being right protects me. So I need to be right. And this is why even intelligent, kind, good people can become emotionally reactive during disagreement. Not because they're bad people, but because human beings naturally become attached to mental positions. And when we become too attached to our mental positions, we stop seeing clearly. Yun na lang nakikita natin na tama, tapos silang lahat mali. Now, there's another belief underneath this. Many people unconsciously believe na if I stop defending myself strongly, I'll become weak. If I become calmer, people will walk over me. If I stop reacting, I will stop caring. But that's not true. Calmness is not weakness. Presence is not passivity. You can still have opinions. You can still speak up. You can still set boundaries. You can still disagree strongly. But there's a difference between responding intentionally and reacting automatically. And that difference changes everything because automatic reactivity has costs. It affects relationships because people stop feeling emotionally safe around us. It affects communication because instead of listening, we are preparing counter arguments. We stop trying to understand other people. We start trying to win. And many people don't realize this, but it also affects performance because mental and emotional energy get consumed by inner conflict. You replay conversations in your head. You mentally argue with people kahit tapos na ang conversation. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin sa isip mo. You feel irritated for hours or days. And all that energy could have gone into meaningful action, creativity, problem-solving, rest, or connection. And this is also why some high performers feel mentally exhausted even when they're productive. Their mind is constantly in resistance. They're resisting criticism, feedback, disagreement, uncertainty, certain perspectives, and over time, that creates chronic tension internally and with other people kapag, di ba, nasa-stress yung mga tao sa kung paano ka magre-react sa disagreement. Now, here's another important thing. The mind usually promises us something when we become defensive. It promises protection, strength, control, certainty, importance. It says na if you prove yourself that you are right, you will feel better. Pero what actually happens? There's more stress, more tension, more emotional distance, more mental noise kapag too attached ka sa being right. And ironically, the stronger the attachment to being right, the harder it becomes to learn, to grow and connect. Because growth requires openness, not weakness, openness. The ability to say na, okay, this is my current perspective, but I may not see the whole picture. And that kind of humility creates psychological flexibility. And psychological flexibility is powerful because reality is complex kasi every person sees life through different conditioning, different experiences, different fears, different pain, different environments. So naturally, people will think differently. And when we deeply understand that, we become less shocked by disagreement. Hindi na tayo nag-e-expect that everyone will see life exactly as we see life. Now, practically speaking, ano yung gagawin natin when we notice ourselves getting triggered by disagreement? First, notice the reaction in the body because your reaction is on you. That's your responsibility. Before fixing the conversation, notice yourself muna. The tightening, the pressure, the urge to interrupt, the emotional charge. Awareness is important because many reactions happen automatically. And second, create a little space muna between you and the thought. Na instead of fully merging with, I'm right, they're wrong, this is a threat, dapat patunayan ko na tama ako. Okay, notice na, my mind is becoming reactive right now. That small moment of awareness already changes something because once you can observe the reaction, you're no longer completely trapped inside it. And third is practice listening without immediately preparing your defense or counter-argument. This is difficult because many people are not truly listening. They're waiting for their turn to speak. But genuine listening changes the quality of interaction. And interestingly, anong nangyayari? People become less defensive when they feel heard. Mas mag-cooperate sila sa'yo. Mas productive ang conversation. Fourth, Remember that disagreement does not automatically equal rejection of you. Someone can disagree with your opinion and still respect you, care about you, value you. And finally, anchor more deeply into presence than identity. Your worth is deeper than your opinions, deeper than your beliefs and your thoughts. Kasi thoughts change, opinions evolve, beliefs develop over time. Yung ibang beliefs mo doon, hindi mo na beliefs ngayon, nagbabago yan. So that's not who you are. And when we stop making our identity depend on being right, lesser yung inner pressure. There's more peace. Mas clear, mas madali nating makita kung ano talaga ang importante. More emotional stability. And from there, performance improves as well. Because now, mental energy is no longer constantly leaking into unnecessary stress and conflict. Mas clear ka na mag-isip, mas nakaka-communicate ka effectively, mas nakaka-recover ka emotionally, you make better decisions even under pressure. And relationships improve because people feel less judged, less attacked, and more emotionally safe around you. So if this episode resonated with you and you want to become less reactive, less mentally overloaded, and more emotionally steady even under pressure, I invite you to join the Mental Fitness Challenge. Mental fitness is the most effective foundation for clear thinking, resilience, and sustainable high performance. Because when your mind becomes stronger and less reactive, you make wiser decisions, you take focused action, and create better results with less stress. Mental fitness is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming more aware of unhealthy mental habits so you can respond differently in real situations, especially during stress, pressure, conflict, and difficult conversations. You'll find the link in the description. Kung nakaka-relate ka sa episode na to, follow or subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss future episodes. And if you know someone who might find this helpful, feel free to share it with them. And thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next episode of Realizations with Clarissa. And keep building your mental fitness. Because a stronger mind helps us live better and work better.